Hello, everybody. This is the director of the Dark Way, my wife, my beloved wife, Anay Davari, and we are very honored to participate in your session, and we are ready for any kind of questions.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Q&A for The Dark Way. My name is Arjang Zafar. I am a programming director at the Philadelphia Asian American Film Festival. Yashar, you sort of halfway introduced yourself. Would you each like to introduce yourselves? You're welcome to do that.
Thank you very much. My name is
Yep.
Yashar Nurai. I am a film critic in Iran, actually, and I began to teach film studies in a private school in Iran long time ago, about 11 years ago. And to my chance, my now beloved wife was a head of this film school, and then we met. And after that, we became wife and husband. And I had the chance to finance her documentary, The Dark Way, which was an idea for a long time ago and in her head to produce a film about the situation and the problems of people who are dealing with breast cancer in Iran, but they do not get the permission from their husbands. And therefore, I'm honored to have the opportunity, and we are very honored, me and my wife, that the film was shown at the Philly Film Festival, and I hope that people in Philly Film Festival enjoy the film.
Yes, I hope so too. We were obviously very honored to have you as part of our program. I guess so. Is Anahid going to be participating as well, or?
She's going to participating in this session, but probably she was busy for keeping the child silent, and she's not so fluent in English. Every
I understand.
question which will be in English, I'll be translated into Farsi, and she will answer that.
Great. So to start off, I'm going to kind of start with a more basic question. Can you each, well, I was initially going to ask how you specifically became involved with the film, but now we sort of know that you had a close relationship with the director. So, can you each sort of tell us about how, I guess, the project like came to be first conceptually, and then sort of what your roles each consisted of, and what the kind of what the process of getting involved in the project was, I guess, and what you sort of did to kind of start to make it a reality.
بتون ایده اولیه چجوری به ذهنت رسیدش که بعدا تبدیل به فیلمش کردی و چجوری من و تو با هم تونستیم عملا این فیلم رو تهیه کنیم؟
که مادرم با خیریه زنان سرطانی که کار میکرد، منم ارتباط داشتم با این خیریه، با دوستان زندگی سری خانم آشنا شدم که زندگیشون تحت تاثیر این قانون این چیز قرار گرفته بود و با چیز شده بود که با جونشون بازی شده بود. در واقع تو اون جلسات من با اینا صحبت میکردم، داستان زندگیشون رو مینوشتم، بعد 3 تا رو انتخاب کردم که با اینا پیش برم که 2 تاشون رو تو فیلم آوردم.
First, the initial idea came to her mind when her mother was involved in a charity. The charity was aiming to help the people who are dealing with cancer, with breast cancer. Yes, women with breast cancer. And her mother told my wife the stories about the people, the women who are dealing with breast cancer. And the problem is that they want to have amputation, but it's not recognized or somehow justified by their husbands. She chose about 3 stories from what her mother told him from this charity. It is a private charity which is aiming to help people who are not financially very successful in Iran to have opportunity to have medical support. She chose, my wife chose 3 stories from those stories what is told by her mother, and tried to make a semi-documentary film out of them.
Okay, great. So for the subjects that are actually featured, like the real subjects that are featured in the film, can you tell us about what the process was like for approaching them and like getting them to be willing to kind of be included in the project themselves?
میگه که برای اینکه این موضوع که واقعی بودش چجوری تلاش کرد که بهشون نزدیک بشی و ازشون بخوای که توی این فیلمی که در حقیقت در واقعیت زندگیشون هستش شرکت کنن.
با خیلیشون صحبت کردم، داستان‌های مختلفی داشتن. برای من این قضیه، این اتفاقی که در حق این زن، کلا در حق زن اجحاف میشه که اختیار روی بدن خودش نداره، اونا رو که انتخاب کردم که این مشکل رو داشتن، چون خیلی‌ها چیزای دیگه داشتن یا اصلا مشکل نداشتن. اینا رو که انتخاب کردم، انقدر رفت آمد کردم، توی مراسماشون شرکت کردم، دوربین بردم، باشون حرف زدم و اینا، تا با اونایی که واقعا خودشون راضی بودن و میخواستن صداشون رو جهان بشنوه در واقع که چه دوره‌ای گذروندن به خاطر این قضیه، با اونا پیش رفتم. نزدیک 2 سال با اونا بودم، یعنی با ساخت فیلم 2 سال طول کشید که اونا حاضر شدن جلو دوربین بیان و قضیه زندگیشون رو بگن جلو دوربین.
The process of taking the story and making it into a subject of a film took about 2 years. First, Anahit tried to near herself to those people who are victim of this kind of situation and talk to them and take the subjects, various subjects from their stories, and try to make a story out of these various subjects. It took about 2 years to get the confidence of those subjects, those people who are victims of this kind of situation, to agree to have a participation in this film. And after that, she took various aspects of her research and make it to the film.
I see. So throughout the film, there are obviously various scenes which are sort of dramatic reenactments of what I assume are real stories. Can you tell us a little bit about how this concept came about and how you went about staging these and casting and all of that?
You mean mixing the reality with fiction?
Yes.
Okay. میگه که چجوری به این ایده رسیدی که واقعیت و خیال با هم چیز بکنی؟
من چون فیلم کوتاه هم می ساختم غیر از مستند این نوع تجربه بود، اومدم با اون واقعه رو، تعریف اونا رو در واقع از گذشته‌ای که بهشون گذشته به حالت داستانی در آوردم، یعنی مستند داستانیش کردم که یه بخشیش واقعیت رو نشون بدم که این آدم‌ها واقعا وجود دارن. اگه فقط می‌خواستم داستانش رو بسازم شاید اینقدر غیر واقعی برای همه باور کردن این نبود که همچین اتفاقی داره میفته و افتاده. برای همین اول قضیه این بود که داستانی بسازم، یه شخصیتی بود که این اتفاق براش میفته. بعد چون انقدر وحشتناک این اتفاق، اومدم مستندش کردم، تعریف اونا رو کردم حالت داستانی که بازیگر جای اینا بازی کنه.
Okay. The main idea was that fictionalizing the subject would mean that it is a generalization of the subject. This was very important to her because if you hear those stories, you might not believe that. You might not think that this would happen to everyone. But what she intended was to make a bridge between reality and fiction, so that this fiction means that it is general to everyone. It is a generalization that this can happen to everyone. That was the main intent of Do you see us?
Yes. Yeah, you cut out for a minute, but you're good.
Yeah, Zhang, yes. Excuse me. It is 9 o'clock at the evening, and people are protesting in Iran, so the internet
I know, I
connection
understand.
might not be
I
so
understand.
good.
I'm glad that you could even be
Okay.
here, that you were even able to connect in
Okay,
the
thank
first place.
you.
I'm happy.
No, we are very honest.
Okay, I understand. So kind of having more of a universality to the story and
Yes, and I think fictionalizing something, it brings out the subject from its own.
um okay, great. And so let's see. I guess just in a more general sense, can you tell us about any like challenges that you faced in the process of making the film?
میگه مشکلاتی که داشتی در موقع ساختن فیلم چه چیزایی بود؟
بیشترین چیز مشکل مالی بود، چون مستقل بودم. با هر خیریه که صحبت میکردم که کمک مالی بکنن، بیشتر ازم پول خواستن. گفتن همون پولی هم که جمع کردی بده ما، بعد خیریه ما هم تبلیغ کن. خیلی تو این قضیه اذیت شدم و مشکل هم بیشتر مالی مشکلات دیگه هم ایجاد میکنه، تجهیزات، رفت و آمد. اونقدی نداشتم که بتونم خیلی جاها با اینا برم یا خیلی کارهای دیگه ای بکنم، مثلا تایم بیشتری رو با اینا بگذرونم. حتی اون سفر شمال که اونا شمال زندگی میکردن، همه اینا شخصی برگزار شد. یه روز 2 روزه بریم از زندگی اینا فیلم بگیریم که همه یه واقعیت رو من نشون بدم که اینا الان کجا هستن. میگم الان چیزی که اونایی که ترس داشتم می‌خواستن دیده نشن و اینا، خب من چیز کردم واقعا از اول باشون واضح صحبت کردم. یعنی یه رضایتنامه درست کردم که بعدن یهو مثلا چیز نکنن که نه ما نمیخواستیم. باشون صحبت کردم که همچین اتفاقی میفته، میره جشنواره ها همه ببینن، شما رو میبینن، مشکلی براتون ایجاد نمیشه. که این 2 نفر و اون چند نفر که آخر نشسته بودن دوست داشتن که صداشون رو جهان بشنوه و رضایت خودشون بود. رضایتنامه هم امضا کرده بودن. یعنی من بدون رضایت خودشون هیچ کاری نکردم. بیشترین مشکل بحث مالی بود که هیچ.
There are two different kind of challenges in making such films. One is the financial challenges that you have in Iran. If you want to make such a documentary with your personal interest, it is always in trouble to making or to having the financial support that is usually is done in other countries or in other systems. For instance, she had always problems with getting financial support from charities who are dealing with the subject of breast cancer in Iran. And those charities, most of them, they asked for money. They didn't give money. They asked for money to participate in such documentaries. The second form of challenges were the individual challenges in Iran. Most of these persons who are suffering from breast cancer, they do not want to be recognized. But at the end, she was able to get the permission from 2 of the persons who are the main actresses of this film to participate in this film. And at the end of the movie, when you see some women who are gathering, those women also agreed to participate in this film.
And so I also just would like to ask, like in the process of making the film, doing the research that was necessary, talking to the subjects, was there anything new that you yourselves learned, either about sort of Iranian law or medical or surgical practices, or just anything at all that you learned yourselves that was new to you that you are interested in bringing to life or talking about.
میگه که در موقع تحقیق و ساختن این فیلم های چیز جدیدی بود که در مورد قوانین ایران یا چیزهای دیگری برای خودتون هم شناخته شده شد؟
مهمترین چیزی که ما فهمیدیم این بود که تنها همه فکر میکردیم که واقعا به صورت قانون وجود داره و به بیمارستانا اعلام شده که مثلا این کارو نکنن، جایی نوشته شده، ثبت شده و با پزشک صحبت کردیم، با کسایی دیگه که صحبت کردیم متوجه شدیم که قانون نیست، یعنی یه قانون نانوشته است. انقدر این چرخیده و این فرهنگ اشتباه در واقع یه فرهنگ اشتباهی غالب شده تو ذهن بقیه و پزشکی که مثلا با صحبت کردم، یعنی چند تا پزشک، حالا یکی حاضر شد دیده بشه، این بود که از ترس اینکه چون ظاهر زن تغییر میکنه، از ترس اینکه بعدن شوهر نیاد پزشک رو به برخورد فیزیکی میکردن، برای جلوگیری از اون شکایت و دردسرایی که بیمارستان باید بکشن شکایت میکنن، رضایت همسر رو واجب کرده بودن که باید رضایت، چون تغییری تو ظاهر زنه و مردم میاد میگه اصلا نمیفهمن یعنی چی، مثلا سرطان چیه، میگه چرا دست زدی، چرا مثلا تغییر دادی زن من. برای همه ما فهمیدیم که واقعا قانون نیست، این اشتباهه. الان داریم به خود زنای تو ایران هم داریم اینو متوجه میکنیم که این قانون نیست، میتونین شما یه کاری بکنین که همچین چیزی پزشک نخواد.
The most important thing that she found during the research was that having the right for amputation of the breast is a written law in Iran. And the unwritten law is that you are very scared to do that because the shape of your body will change and people who are near to you will have a judgment of you and your body. What she found out was that according to the ruling law of Iran, if a doctor testifies that it is necessary for amputation of your breast, you have to do that. And the other thing, which is related to your husband, to people who are near to you, to people who know you, is some kind of cultural thing. It's not a legal matter. This was the important case for her because after making this film, she was able to tell to those people who are suffering from cancer, from breast cancer, to tell that regarding the ruling legal matter in Iran, you can have amputation without the permission from your husband. You can have it. If your husband tries to prevent you from amputation, it is a personal matter. It's not a legal matter.
I see.
Excuse me.
بیمه، بعضی از خانوما بیمهشون با همسرشون که مشترک بود، مرد خیلی راحت میتونست اجازه نده که جراحی بشه و زن نمیتونست از بیمهش استفاده کنه.
There's another thing. When there is a mutual insurance between the husband and wife in Iran, the husband can prevent the wife from getting the insurance for the surgery. And that was something that she found out during the research and told those people who are suffering from breast cancer, it is better to have an individual insurance to get the full insurance back when they get in the surgery.
I see. So I think the final scene of the film, it's kind of it's quite beautiful and life affirming. You know, the scene where they're sort of at the beach and can you tell us a little bit about, I guess, where the idea for that as the ending of the film came from and how you kind of planned that and why you decided to go in that direction?
میگه صحنه آخر فیلم خیلی زیباست، میگه درخت داره میکارن، اینو چجوری به ذهنت رسید تا چجوری بگی؟
خیلی اتفاقی داشتم که کنار دریا با اونا راه میرفتیم، همین درخت شاخه در واقع افتاده بود زمین و اینا شروع کردن اونو بلند کردن که من سری نشستم دوربین رو گذاشتم گفتم ادامه بدین که در واقع همون امید به زندگی و اینکه دوباره با اینا بلند شدن به زندگی رو ادامه دادن خیلی اتفاقی، ولی همون لحظه رو سعی کردم، یعنی همه جا سعی کردم باهاشون باشم که ببینم چه اتفاقی میفته. تو حال خودشون بودن و اون افتاده بود اونجا، شاید هم بقیه باور نکنن که همچین صحنه مثلا طبیعی اتفاق افتاده که من سری نشستم دوربین رو گذاشتم گفتم ادامهشون کارتون رو بکن، ادامه بدین که دوتایی با همون درخت رو.
Okay. It was a complete coincidence. Anna and the two actresses of the film, they were walking on the beach and they found out this cut bridge on the beach. And suddenly the idea came that they can put the bridge on the sand. And Anna said to them, do that. It makes a good feeling and it is good for my movie. So they put it on the sand and it became a symbol of the life afterwards, that the life goes on. And Anna took the whole film out of this bridge on sand.
I see. Yeah, it's very lovely. Okay, so just to shift gears a little bit, kind of touching on some things that you were saying earlier, I'm curious if you sort of, obviously this was a vision that you had that was very specific. The idea for this film, it came from something very specific. While you were making it, and you know, currently now that you're sort of seeing reactions to it, are you thinking about the ways in which these stories connect to kind of broader stories of women sort of asking for autonomy over their own bodies and you know more sort of self-determination and things of that nature, either in Iran or you know just more universal? Is that something that's on your mind?
Around the world, yes. میگه که ببین ایده اولیه درسته که در مورد ایران بوده، ولی آیا واقعا حق زن نسبت به بدن خودش در کل جهان مد نظرت هم بود؟
یعنی من همیشه حرفم این بود که از زن استفاده ابزاری میشه، چه برای تبلیغات، یعنی تبلیغات‌های خارجی، فشن، این چیزا، مثلا مجلاتی که به خاطر رشته‌ام عکاسی زیاد نگاه می‌کردم، احساس می‌کردم که چقدر از زن استفاده ابزاری میشه، چه ایران چه هر جایی. یعنی یه نگاه دیگه همیشه به زن میشه، حالت تجاری، حالت برای کاری را بندازن، کاری بکنن. این خیلی برای من همیشه دغدغه‌ام این بوده. ولی خب چیزی که من تو جامعه که دارم زندگی میکنم یه بخشش رو تونستم این شکلی حداقل نشون بدم که چقدر زن اختیار خودشو داره، چقدر اختیار بدن خودش، ظاهر خودش، چرا نمیتونیم اونجوری که میخوایم زندگی کنیم، چرا تصمیم گرفته میشه برای ما، چه تو خارج از ایران یه جور دیگه مجبورن زیبایی رو نگه دارن هر طور که مثلا بتونن کاری انجام بدن، یا برای کار پیدا کردن باید ظاهر خیلی خوبی آدم معمولی باشه شاید سخت به کاری بدن، چه تو ایران که خب خیلی مشکلات دیگه بر زن وجود.
Yes, this is you can say that it is a sub-subject of creating this film, that the self-determination of women over her body, it is a universal idea. That in Iran, related to the subject of the film, you have the problems of getting the permission to amputate part of your body in order to get a life. But because Anna has a bachelor in photography, and she's very interested in various forms of getting picture of women. She had always this idea that the body of the women is somehow getting to be marginalized. It somehow is getting to be part of the advertisement, that the woman is losing the control over her body, and this idea is definitely related to the main idea of this film. It's not only a problem in Iran. In a broader sense, it is a problem, in a universal problem, which shows that people, and especially the women, female, should have full control over their bodies.
And so I guess to kind of start to wind down and come to our conclusion, what would you say, if you have any expectations, what are your expectations and hopes for screening this film? And in particular for screening it, you know, here with us outside of Iran at our festival or wherever, the United States, wherever. Like, what hopes do you have and expectations for screening it?
Before asking the question, I want to thank you sincerely that giving us the opportunity that the film is shown in USA and in Philly.
Of course.
I've been to Philly, but it was 2 decades ago, but it was a very, very nice experience. And I hope that people in Philly who are watching this film have a good experience of watching this film and have a human experience of watching this film. And I'm now translating your question to her to answer that. چه انتظاری داری از اینکه فیلمو دارن نشون میدن تو این انتظار
چه انتظاری دارم؟ خب هر کس فیلمش نشون داده انتظار دوست داره که فیلمش موفق بشه، دیده بشه. ولی اول که خیلی خوشحالم که فیلم منو پذیرفتن، ممنونم ازشون که فیلم منو پذیرفتن و تا همینجاش هم برای من خیلی بحران مثبتی بود که حداقل چند نفر دیده باشن و صدای این زنا به گوش اونا رسیده باشه. یعنی تلاش من این بود که صدای اینا به کشورهای دیگه برسه که زنا این تو ایران چه اتفاقی داره میفته. هرچند چیز قشنگی نیست و من هیچ وقت دوست نداشتم چیزای بدی نشون بدم، ولی این یه چیزیه که شاید یه تغییری ایجاد بکنه، حداقل من در حد خودم بتونم کمکی بکنم. انتظارم اینه که یه جوری کمکم بکنن که، یا کمک این فیلم نه، کمک این زن‌ها بکنن که صداشون بیشتر دیده بشه و شنیده بشه.
First, she is very thankful that the film is accepted at the Philly Film Festival, and she's very happy that people outside Iran can watch this film, and she hopes that people outside Iran like this film, and those people who like this film try or think about creating a situation which can help those people who are suffering from the same problem, which is because this is an international problem. Although there are some aspects which are national and which are domestics, but it seems that at the core, the problem of controlling her own body seems to be an international problem. Therefore, she hopes that people like this film, enjoys this film, and this film makes them think and probably makes them help to create a situation in which those who are suffering in those situations can have a better chance of healing and having a decent life.
Great. Thank you both so much. If you haven't already, please, to our audience, if you haven't already, please check out The Dark Way. I assume if you're watching this, then you have seen it, but if not, please do. You can find more of our stuff on our website. Check out the live stream schedule for more of our Q&As, and you can still purchase tickets for our events. But yeah, again, thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you
I
very
really
much.
appreciate it. This was a wonderful conversation. Thank you.
It was an honor to us, and we hope that Philly Film Festival will be successful in the coming years, and we hope that we can make a movie and join you again in the next years.
Likewise.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day.